Never give up after the first time, but always remember no means no. So, as you may or may not know if you're new, my name's Lawrence, and I'm a youth empowerment speaker. I help teens and young adults improve their self love, confidence, and outlook on life. I go into these high schools, I go into these organizations, give these amazing speeches. Everyone walks out and they love it. That's the part people see. But the part that people don't see is how I get into that position. I send a lot of emails. And the first email, most of the time, people don't respond. They don't even see it. The second time, some of them do respond. The third time, I get a good number of people responding. Yes, I'm interested. No, I'm not. But what you need to understand is that your first time, it might not work. Nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with your process. Nothing wrong with you as a person. It's just the first time it did not work. But that second time it did. That third time it did. And every day, as you do this more and more, you practice, you learn, you adapt, you realize, okay, people don't like when I send these long emails. Let me try sending short emails. People like that. Let me keep sending the short email. Oh, people don't like the way I worded it. Let me just word it. So in your life, this could look like studying. Maybe some people they can sit down and they can study for 3 hours straight, but that might not be you. You might need to take a break every 45 minutes. You might need to practice each day, improve your focus, and eventually you'll be able to study for hours nonstop. Maybe for you, you're playing basketball, and some people they're 6'5", they could dunk, they could do all these crazy tricks, but you're 5'6". So what you might need to do is practice your dribble. You might need to practice more. You might need to work on your footwork more. So just because the first time you stepped out on the court, you weren't LeBron James, just because the first time you studied for that test, you didn't get a straight A, just because the first time you posted a video, it didn't go viral, that doesn't mean give up. You gotta just keep going. But when you're trying to sell a product, you're trying to run a business, and somebody says, no, I don't want it, no means no. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Don't give up on yourself. Keep trying. Get your notebooks out. This is going to be a good one. So, as some of you may know, I used to work a door to door sales job in New Jersey. And I would have to knock on these people's doors, give you a sales pitch, and try to convince you to get solar panels for your house. And when I would do this, I would have to knock on hundreds of strangers' doors, complete strangers, keep in mind, talk to them. Some people called the cops on me. Some people I got rained on, like it was storming outside. There were heat waves. There were a lot of people who were really rude to me. But there were some people who were really nice to me, and those people were the ones who paid me. The problem, though, is that in life, it's really easy for us to allow the bad things to distract us from the good things, to allow the people who didn't respond to distract us from the people who do. And when you're trying to run a business or you're trying to develop in life or you're trying to achieve any goal, you have to get out of the mentality that I'm going to do X, I'm going to get Y. I'm going to do 1 hour of work. I'm going to get this amount of dollars. That works in a job. But when you take that and apply it to the gym, to your life, to anything else, it doesn't make any sense. The farmer doesn't plant the seed on Monday and on Tuesday, he gets his crop. You don't go to the gym on Monday and on Tuesday, you have a six pack. You have to go through the process. And sometimes the process is painful. You have to ask people out before you get a date. And when you're doing that, you're going to have some people who they say, no, I'm not interested. You're ugly. There's going to be times when people just don't like you. But in the process, you will find the people who do. When I reach out to school and I'm emailing, I have some who they love me. I have some who don't. I have some who respond. I have some who don't. But I don't allow the ones who don't respond to distract me from the ones who do. And maybe the first time I emailed them, they just didn't see it. They might have just been really busy. They might have forgot to respond. So I follow up. And what I learned through that job, well, the door to door sales job, was that you have to follow up. You have to double back. Because I would knock on your house around 12 in the afternoon. That would be the first time. And then fast forward 2, 3 hours, I'll come back and I'll knock again at 3 p.m. Because maybe you weren't home at 12. Maybe you were asleep at 12. Maybe you were having a bad mood at 12, but you're in a good mood at 3. You never know. So don't be afraid to circle back. Don't be afraid to circle back on that idea. Don't be afraid to try again. Don't be afraid to keep going, even if it didn't work the first time. You went out and you want to play basketball. The first time you step on the court, you missed your shot. And you're like, oh, I'm going to give up. But that second time, you would have been a little bit better, and a little bit better, and a little bit better, and a little bit better. And you just keep going on and on and on and on. And eventually, you make it to the NBA. But it's not an overnight process. It is a day by day by day by day process. And we can often look at other people and say, oh, it took this person 5 years, it took this person 10 years, it took this person 1 year. But that's them and you're you. Some people, they make their first video and it goes viral. Some people, they make 1,000 videos and none of them go viral. Some people, they make 10 videos and all 10 go viral. But you have to focus on you and your results and doing what you need to do day by day to get the result that you want. For me, it's sending emails. It's making these videos. It's posting. It's practicing. It's these things. For you, it might be studying. It might be going to the gym. It might be reading or writing or making TikTok dance videos if you want to become backup dancer for Beyonce. You just have to figure out what is your thing and do what you need to do for your thing. Another big problem too is, like I mentioned, that comparison. But let's go a little deeper on it. You might look up, okay, how many emails do I have to? I'm talking about myself really personally now. Like this is what I did. I used to look up how many emails do I need to send on average to get a response from the principals. And some sources were saying, oh, you need to send 5, others were saying 4, 15. There was a lot of varied data on there. But the thing that worked the most is just send them. Just send them. Just do the thing. The easiest way to get what you want, do the thing needed to achieve the goal. Because in our head, we'll make the process so much more complicated than it really has to be. In our head, we will overcomplicate things. In our head, we will say, oh, but I have to say this perfect line to get this girl to go out with me. I have to write my email this way. I have to work out this exact scientific way. I have to shoot the basketball at a 17-degree angle. We'll make it so much harder than it has to be. But the simple answer is you just gotta keep doing it. You just gotta keep showing up, and eventually your results will show. And I've been having that in my life recently. I've been emailing schools, and I'm not going to say which one, not yet. But I had a school that responded, had a meeting with the guy. He was like, yeah, we love you. The students want you. And I'm going to be presenting to an assembly of 420 something students. That's going to be the biggest event I've ever done. So far, the biggest one I've ever done was 399 people, I believe. Well, it was 398. Yeah. And this is going to be, significantly bigger than that. But you have to understand that as you keep showing up, the opportunities will also present themselves. If you're willing to just dedicate yourself and just not give up after that first no, because I've had schools tell me no, just plain no, we're not interested. And at the time, it hurted. That kind of hurt my feelings. I was like, a little sensitive about it. But as I started to build thicker skin, as I just started to say, hey, I'm just going to keep showing up. I'm just, if they don't want me, the next one want me. And if they don't want me, the next one want me. And I'm going to just keep going until, I get the result that I want, which is a yes, we want you to speak to our school, which, this school said, yes, we want you to speak to our entire school. Sometimes we go into life thinking this and we get this. My original plan was I was just gonna come speak to like one class, and then if they like that, then I try to talk them into letting me speak to the whole school. But they said no. We want you front and center in front of everybody on day one. And that's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful when life goes better than you planned. It's such a great thing. But life can never go better than you plan if you just keep giving up. You know, you start and then you stop. You start and then you stop. And it's not that you're starting and then you stop and then you start again. No, it's like you started, you stop, and then you went back to square one. But you're also going back to square one with more knowledge than you did at the start. So don't think that, oh, because I used to practice basketball and then I stopped for a month, that I'm starting back at zero. No, you're restarting with prior experience. You just have to remember to not get discouraged. Because people are going to make fun of you, people are going to laugh at you, people are going to say a lot of things about you that you're not going to like. I've had people DM me some of the most crazy, outrageous, offensive stuff ever. But if I allowed that to discourage me, I wouldn't be making this YouTube video. I wouldn't have this certificate of appreciation. I'm really good at what I do. I wouldn't have this office. I wouldn't have all the things I've achieved. I wouldn't have, been on so many podcasts and traveled and done all these great things. So when people are trying to discourage you and they're trying to tear you down, often it's because they don't believe that they can. Oh, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. Not me. I'm me. You're you. Keep your opinion to yourself. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it. If you're not supported, leave. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody's forcing you to listen to what they gotta say. Nobody's forcing you. And the problem though, we feel like, oh, because this is maybe my aunt or my uncle or my family or my best friend from third grade or my teacher or my girlfriend or my boyfriend. So what? Their opinion is their opinion. Like, it's great to listen to feedback, learn from people because maybe they're trying to help you. Maybe they actually have a good point. Maybe they're trying to support you, but it sounds like it's hurtful. So you need to stop yourself and ask yourself, okay, is this beneficial? Like, is this beneficial? Okay, I understand that maybe my family, they want me to get this safe career, they want me to go to college, they want me to do these things. Okay, they actually care. They want to see me do well, but they just don't understand what I'm trying to do. They don't understand that I'm going to figure this business out. I'm going to make something happen. But in the process, it's going to look like nothing's happening. You're just growing underneath the soil. Underneath the ground, you're growing. Underneath the ground, you're digging your roots. Underneath the ground, you're sprouting, but it's going to take a while before you break out the ground. You might break out the ground tomorrow. It might break out the ground next week, next year. You never know. But if you just give up, you'll never get to find out. You'll never find out how big you could have grown if you just keep quitting on yourself. That's the problem. People quit on themselves more than they quit on anything else. You pay your Netflix every single month on time. You pay your rent every single month on time. You pay your electricity, your gas, your phone bill, everything on time. But when do you pay attention to yourself? When you pay attention to that dream inside of you, when do you pay attention to your ambitions, when do you pay attention to your goals, when do you pay attention to your health, when you pay attention to your wealth, When do you pay attention to you? When do you invest in yourself? Oh, people will invest in crypto, they'll invest in stocks and gold and silver and all these things. But when's the last time you invested in you? When's the last time you invested time into yourself, energy into yourself, money into yourself, food into yourself? When's the last time you invested in yourself? And I don't just mean, oh, I put $5 in my savings account. I put this amount of money in my 401k. Okay, I mean, that's good, but what about something like moving into a safe area? Let's start there. What about trying out for a new career, like something higher paying, or going to college, or starting a business, or buying some land? Whatever it is for you, because I'm not here to tell you what your goals should be. I'm just here to tell you that you should make it a priority. Like, you should make it a priority to work on yourself. You should make it a priority to show up and do what you got to do. You should make it a priority to help those around you. You should make it a priority to be an example for your family, to show them what is possible because maybe they didn't understand. When I first started this business and I started speaking on the internet and going up on these stages and writing books, my family did not understand. They were like, "We support you, but we don't have no clue what you're doing." So I had to show them. Not in a, "Oh, I'm gonna show them" kind of way. No, I just had to demonstrate. I had to show what's possible. And now when they see my videos, my grandma, she be calling me all the time, talking about like, "Oh my gosh, Lance, I saw your video." My little cousins, they be seeing my videos. My school counselor from when I was in like fifth grade, she saw my videos. I've had a lot of people, see like, dang, Lawrence really pulled that off. Like, wow. And in a supporting way. But there's also those people who, they see you and they're like, oh my gosh, she really did that. And they hating. And they hate and they don't like it. They mad, they envious, they jealous. But here what I had to understand. A dog barks and a hater hates. A baby cries and a hater hates. A bird chirps and a hater hates. A tree grows and a hater hates. You can't be mad at them. They're just doing what they're supposed to do. It's their job. They're full time employed to that. That's what they do. The first thing they do when they wake up, they're like, oh my gosh, the world is so terrible. Oh, you saw what so and so did? Spend so much time talking about other people, but very little talking about themselves. And I don't want you to be that kind of person. I know that you don't want to wake up and the first thing on your mind is other people like, oh, what did they do? I don't want to go here to this job that I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So today, take some time to take care of yourself. Do what you want to do. Live your life. Make smart decisions. Grow. Develop into the person that you know that God, Buddha, Allah, whoever you believe in, put you on this earth to be. Be somebody in a world that often tries to make you feel like nobody. Because when you try something for the first time, you try to start a business, you try to get into the gym, you try to just get on the sports team, there's going to be a lot of people who say, oh, why did you think you could do that? See, I knew you were going to fail. You knew it was going to work. And they try to put these doubts and these fears and these insecurities in your own head. Don't listen to that. Listen to, okay, it didn't work that time, but what did Lawrence say? What did Lawrence say? Lawrence said that when it doesn't work, try again. Okay, I'm gonna try again. Okay, that didn't work. I'm gonna try again. Okay, it didn't work a third time. Is there something that I'm doing? Because maybe I'm trying to shoot the basketball blindfolded. I should open my eyes. Now I made it. But you would have never figured that out if you wouldn't have just kept trying and learning in the process. You're trying to break a bad habit. Like, man, I'm trying to stop this bad habit, but I always keep doing it. I'm trying, nothing's working. Okay, let me look at what am I doing? Like, okay, what's the habit? Maybe the habit is eating junk food late at night. All right, my habit, eating junk food late at night. I want to stop doing that. What can I do to stop eating junk food late at night? I could just not buy it. I could just not have junk food in my house because if I don't have it, I can't do it. Boom, problem solved. Maybe what you're trying to do is you want to start going to the gym, but you feel like people at the gym are going to make fun of you. You feel like they're going to judge you, and you don't want to feel insecure. I can assure you, people at the gym, they're actually very non-judgmental. Like I go to a Planet Fitness, we have people in there who are like 300 pounds. We have people in there who are like bodybuilders. Everybody's sweet and nice to each other. Or they just don't say anything to each other. You come in, you do your workout, I come in, I do my workout. I'm not here to judge you because everybody starts somewhere. Everybody starts somewhere, but is this going to be the day that you start, or is it going to be the day you quit? Is this going to be the day when you keep moving forward, or is this going to be the moment when you throw in the towel and you say, it's not working, I'm done, I can't keep going, and you just give up on yourself? Please don't give up on yourself because there's only one of you. It's only one you. And if you don't do your thing, nobody can do it how you do it. When I make these videos, sometimes in the back of my head, I start thinking that, oh, I don't have the Tony Robbins lighting, and sometimes I stutter, and I use filler words, and there's gaps in my speech, and I sound like this, and I sound like that, and I make these silly faces, but nobody could do it how I do. And that's how you have to wake up and remind yourself every day. If your video only getting 5 views, okay, right now it's only getting 5 views. It is what it is. But I remember times when I was getting zero. I was getting one. So that means I'm growing. I might not be growing as fast as Tony Robbins, but he been doing it for 40 years, so it makes sense why he's that big. I might not be growing as fast as other people, but that's them. I'm me. I'm gonna do my thing. They'll do their thing, and I'm not gonna hate on them for it. Congratulations to them. But you have to remind yourself every day to not get caught in that trap of comparing what you have to what they have. You have to remind yourself every day that you're the one who's supposed to do your thing. And when you're doing that and you remind yourself this and you're taking action and you're working on it, you just got to keep going. It's that simple. If I didn't just keep showing up, I wouldn't have this office. I wouldn't have this webcam and this business and all these things I have now. I wouldn't have gone on all those podcasts. I wouldn't have spoken at so many schools. I wouldn't have done so much if I just gave up. So just because it didn't work the first time doesn't mean that you give up. It just means that you keep going and learning along the process. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to purchase my books or register for my upcoming event on breaking limiting beliefs, believing in yourself, and achieving your goals, you can find those links in the description. Have a good one.